Zach and Jillian, right?
Mhm.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to talk about tally marks today. And I'm going to tell you guys a little story about some snakes living under a rock. Okay, are you ready? Then I'm going to let you come up and tell me the story too. First of all, there was a great big rock. And there were some snakes living underneath it. And one snake slithered out of the rock. And he came up and he laid across the rock and he said, "Oh, the sun feels so good. Hey, brother," he yells to the next snake. "Come on out and see how good this feels on the rock. It's so warm." So the other snake slithers out of the rock and he comes up and he lays on the rock with his brother. He was like, "Wow, this does feel awesome." So he yells to his next brother, "Hey, brother, come on out. Feel how good this is sitting on this rock baking in the sun." So the next snake slithers out of the rock and he lays on the rock too. How many do we have up there?
3.
3. Wonder how many more snakes are under there. Do you have an idea?
3 more?
3 more? Let's see. So this last snake, he calls out to the next brother. And he says, "Hey, brother, come on out. Feel how good it is laying on this rock in the sun." So he slithers out of the rock and he lays with his brothers. And he was like, "Wow, this is awesome." So he yells to the last brother. He says, "Hey, brother, come on out. Feel how good it is in the sun on this rock." So he slithers out, but there's no room for him to lay this way. So he decides to lay diagonal. And he says, "Oh my goodness, this is the best thing ever. It's so warm." What do we have here? How many snakes? A diagonal. Let's count the snakes. Are you ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So we have how many altogether?
5.
5 snakes altogether. So that makes our tally mark, right? Let me get rid of the rock so you can see it better. Does that look familiar to any of you? Have you ever seen that before?
No.
You don't remember?
I have.
Okay. So, I'm going to let you guys come up and tell the story too. Zach, would you like to be first?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to pick any color you like.
Once upon a time, there was a big rock. Then the first snake sorted out and
What did he do? What did he do on that rock?
lay down.
Because the
Sun
was,
high.
And what did he say?
Come on.
Hey,
brother.
hey, brother, come on out. So,
The other brother sorted out.
and then what happens? Do you remember? He laid on the rock too, and it was
Really hot.
very hot, so he
Called out his other brother.
and what does he say to his other brother?
Come on, brother.
Come lay on the rock with me. Yeah. So he slithers out. He lays on the rock. Good job. And then he calls.
His other brother, and then he slithers out, and then
Yep. Okay. And how does that brother lay on the rock? Remember? Yep. Drop. Let me see it. He slithers out. And he lays this way. Why does he have to lay that way?
Because there's no more room.
That's right. So you have your 5 snakes. Let's count them. Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nice job, my friend. Good job. I'm going to erase it. You had green snakes, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Because they're supposed to be green.
Oh. I had black snakes. Awesome. Oops. Can you put the eraser right here? It's a magnet. Look at that. Awesome. Next. You're going to do a black snake too? Okay. Tell us the story.
Once upon a time, there was a big rock, and one slithered out
What slithered out?
a snake.
Oh, a snake. Okay.
And he said, "Come out, other brother." And he slithered out.
And he laid on the rock.
And he called for another brother, "Come on out." And he slithered out. And there was another one, and he slithered out. And he laid on the rock.
Good job.
And then he said, "Come on out, brother." And there was no more room. So he denied.
Diagonal? Yes. Let's count them. Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good job. Nice job, my friend. Erase it. You guys got that down good. Good job. I have a story about tally marks. Would you guys like to listen to it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's right here. Thank you. This story is called Tally Cat Keeps Track. It's by Trudy Harris. She wrote the book. And the illustrator is Andrew Harris. Which one do you think Tally Cat is? Jillian, which one do you think Tally Cat is?
The black one.
This one?
Uh-huh.
With the white face? Yeah, I think you're right. Let's see what happens for her. Tally McNally was an alley cat, but more than that, he was a tally cat. He looks pretty happy in that picture, doesn't he? He kept a tally all day long of who was right and who was wrong, of who was tall and who was taller, of who was small and who was smaller. What do you see the difference in these cans? They're the same size, they're the same height, but some of the cans are different sizes, aren't they? And when all things were said and done, Tally McNally always won. Scratch, scratch, scritchety, scratch, scratch. Times I won today. So far he's won how many times? Can you see it? 1, 2, 3. What's he using to make his tally marks?
1 fingers.
Do cats have fingers?
No.
What do cats have?
Claws.
Claws. Yeah, he's using one of his claws to make his tally marks. One day, Tomcat, splattered with rain, plopped in the chair and began to complain. "I'm soaked to my skin. No cat is as wet." But Tally McNally said slyly, "Not yet." What do you think he's going to do with that bottle? What do you think he's going to do,
Put
Joey?
it on his head.
You think so? Because he wants to be the wettest? Could be. 10 drops for you and 16 for me means I'm the wettest. You'll have to agree. Then he stood on a box and announced with a grin, "I'm Tally McNally and I always win." Scratch, scratch, scritchety, scratch, scratch. See all the tally marks up there? "No way," shouted Tomcat. I say you're a cheat. To settle this fairly, let's meet on the street. Tom dove in a puddle and rainwater rose over his chin to the tip of his nose. He jumped to his feet and declared, now I'm wetter. Admit it, McNally, I'm wetter, I'm better. What's he have on his shirt?
Fish.
Fish. Do cats like fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like fish. Not true, replied Tally. The score is now tied. You're the winner out here, but I won inside. Scratch, scratch, scritchity, scratch, scratch. Look, he's keeping tally on the mailbox. I'll do even better, they heard Tally utter, as Tally McNally slid down the gutter. Stop, shouted Tomcat. Kitty yelled, wait! But sadly for Tally, their calls came too late. He went scratch, scratch, scritchity, scratch, splash. Where'd he go?
I don't know.
Down in the gutter. Down in the street. Underneath the street, sometimes there's holes where all the rain goes into. I call them gutters. I don't know what they're called. Help, shouted Tally. I'm stuck in the drain. I don't want to be wetter. I'm sick of the rain. But how can we help you? You're so deep below. Just run and find Boots. She's the smartest. She'll know. Who are they going to go find? Run and find Boots. Run and find Boots. Boots stretched toward Tally, then said with a frown, I can't reach him either. He's much too far down. We need someone taller, but who could that be? From below a voice came, Stripes is the tallest. You'll see. They went, search, search, searchy, search, search. They're looking for, you remember who they're looking for? Stripes. Stripes is the tallest. Here he comes. Stripes stretched, and he stretched with all of his might, but Tally McNally remained out of sight. If Stripes cannot get him, none of us can, Boots said. Then she added, we need a new plan. We don't just need taller, we also need smaller. Well, Kitty's the one, they heard Tally holler. Kitty's the smallest. We need smallest and tallest and smartest, and yet we still need another. You'll have to get, who will have to get wet? Boots whispered her plan as they stood in a huddle. They're working out their plan. Then one by one, they all lay by the puddle. What do you think they're going to do?
Pull them out.
Are they going to make a chain? Because they're hanging on to each other's feet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Paw in paw, they formed a long chain and lowered poor Tom down the dark, dark drain. Stretch, stretch, stretchity, stretch, stretch. Are they going to reach him?
Yes.
I hope so. Hooray, they all shouted. We finally got him. And out of the hole, together they brought him. After high fives and hugs, they waved to McNally. Then back in the alley, he made one last tally. He went, scratch, scratch, scritchity, scratch, scratch. Kitty, Tally, Tom, Stripes, Boots, friends forever. So how many marks did he make?
1, 5,
5, yes, because this equals
5.
5. It always equals 5. Scratch, scratch, scritchity, scratch, scratch. The end. Did you guys like that book?
Mm-hmm.
That's a very cool book, isn't it? All right. So, now I have a worksheet for you guys. So can you turn your chairs around?